This is Hino's Sport, bringing you that heat and that fart. We keeping the foot on the whoop on the Knicks. We keeping the foot on the whoop on the Knicks. And like the Tibetan mastiff that I am, I'm applying what? Unlimited pressure. Because pressure does what? Eat versus pipes. Let's talk about it, man. Floyd Mayweather. You got a lot of pure beta supremes. They don't understand the dichotomy of Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather said something that was emphatic the other day. You would have thought a whole bunch of boxing fans would have said, you know what? There is double standards that's associated with boxing. He knows the sport is right. He's been telling us this thing from day one. Floyd Money Mayweather is right. There is racism that's associated with boxing. They don't want to hit the thumb on the needle, man. They don't want to hit the thumb on the situation. You know what's the sad part about it? A prophet is not honored in his own country, though. He's not honored in his own home. But the one that they rejected became the chief cornerstone. Let me say it again. This is what I said was so deep and profound. Let me let that marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. So hear me and hear me fucking well. They say actually ain't from me. This is from the good book. A prophet is not honored in his own home. No. A prophet is not honored in his own country. The one whom they rejected became the chief cornerstone. They rejected Floyd Mayweather all his life. And Floyd Mayweather became the chief cornerstone. Floyd Mayweather is the embodiment of boxing. And boxing is the embodiment of Floyd Mayweather. If you're not talking Floyd Mayweather, you're not talking boxing. So what's not cold-hearted about that? What's not unadulterated about that? What's not the cutthroat true telefashion that's associated with that? Floyd Mayweather, again, is the embodiment of boxing. And boxing is the embodiment of Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather has copycats left and right. Manny Pacquiao has copycatted Floyd Mayweather's boxing career. Manny Pacquiao has protruded. Manny Pacquiao has sat here and fought a lot of fighters after Floyd because he knew that the game plan that Floyd laid out was the money game plan. It was the money train. And you got to go where the money is at. Let me say it again. The game plan that Floyd laid out was the money ship. It was the money train. And you got to go where the money is at. That's where the money was at. Every fight that Floyd fought. Floyd fought 16 world championship fighters. I mean, it's ridiculous what this guy's done. And he's 16-0 against them. Name another person who's done that. Manny Pacquiao ain't done that shit. Manny Pacquiao was laid out by one Manuel Marquez, who Floyd embarrassed after a 2-year hiatus. It's a things that make you say, It's a things that make you say, No. My bad. It's a 2.5-year hiatus. Floyd is on another level. He's a true alpha extraordinaire governed by true alpha economics. Guys that are on this level, they get polarized. A Floyd Mayweather of the world. A Kobe Bryant of the world. A Hino's Sport of the world. Let me say it again. A Floyd Mayweather of the world. A Kobe Bryant of the world. A Hino's Sport of the world. We get polarized because people cannot understand who we are. Because they are not true alpha extraordinaires governed by true alpha economics. They are pure beta supremes. I done told you guys, and I got corrected by Jay-Z. I told y'all 97% of the planet is pure beta supremes. Only 3% is true alpha extraordinaires governed by true alpha economics. Jay-Z corrected me the other day. He said 2%. And he said it's only 2% of true alpha extraordinaires governed by true alpha economics. And it's really 98% of pure beta supremes. I digress. He knows the sport doesn't normally do that, but I digress because remember, if Jay-Z was the originator of, you know what I'm saying? If you bark up the tree will fall on you. The Hino's Sport is the successor. So when you're the successor of something, you're not the originator. You got to digress to the originator. See, I know how to fall up under the authority. I know how to bend the proverbial fucking knee. This is what being great is all about. Jesus told us, man, the greatest of amongst us is those that are the least. Let me say it again. The greatest amongst us is those that are the least. That means those that are willing to serve. And this is what I'm doing. By doing these videos, I'm serving you. I'm serving you cold-hearted. I'm serving you unadulterated. And I'm serving you cutthroat, truth-telling fashion at its highest levels. Because He knows the sport has been blessed. He knows the sport has been ordained. And He knows the sport has been unctioned unto thee, meaning you, the consumer, to be the ultimate truth teller. Floyd Mayweather is not understood because he's a prophet that is not even honored in his own home. The so-called black community fan bases, they can't stand Floyd Mayweather. They can't stand what Floyd Mayweather is all about because you can't understand that, man. That's why it's called true alpha economics, because there's an economics to being a true alpha. What I said was so deep and profound. Let Let me let that marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. Hear me? And hear me fucking well. That's why it's called true alpha economics, because there's an economics to being a true alpha. And if you don't understand the economics that's associated with being a true alpha, then you're a pure beta supreme. When Floyd said what he said about Conor McGregor, he wasn't telling a lie, he was telling the truth, an emphatic truth. And the truth was as simple as this, that Conor McGregor was biting his style. But you can't bite undefeated when you got put on your ass 3 fucking times. Let me say it again. You can't bite undefeated when you got to put on your ass 3 fucking times. Floyd is the epitome of sports. He is the epitome of combat sports. And if you're not talking Floyd Mayweather, you're not talking combat sports. What you have is Rudy Poor and Plum Plum brains that are not pugilists. They don't understand the sport of boxing. So they say Floyd is boring because they don't understand pugilism. You got classic dotes and troglodytes that say, well, Floyd, you know what I'm saying, he was a villain, so, you know, that's why people didn't like him. No, you don't understand polarization. That's why you're a classic dote and a fucking troglodyte. When Floyd used the Money Mayweather tag, you know that was a character? That's not really who Floyd Joy or Sinclair Joy Mayweather is. You know that is a persona, just like Hino's Sport is a persona of Abe. Man, I'm dropping gems and jewels, man. Get the turkeys out and get to the damn gobbling, dog. Because what people don't understand, and that's why y'all got to get the notepads out and get to the damn scribbling, is that Floyd is the ultimate combat sports athlete. This guy dominated a sport like nobody's business, both inside and outside the ring. And if you can't give him that, then you're a Rudy Poo and a Plum Plum brain. If you can't give him that, you're a classic doter and a troll. If you can't give him that, you're an ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric. But Hino's Sport told you there's too many motherfuckers out here that are hot and bothered like grits, insecure and miserable as you know what in their lives. So they gotta hate on greatness personification. But what did Hino's Sport tell you? Greatness personification can only be hindered. The motherfucker can't be stopped. Let me say it again. Greatness personification can only be hindered. The motherfucker can't be stopped. Floyd Mayweather embodies greatness personification. A Kobe Bryant embodies greatness personification. A Hino's Sport embodies greatness personification. And guess what? Greatness personification can only be hindered. The motherfucker can't be stopped. So you can't stop Floyd's greatness personification. You can't stop a Kobe Bryant's greatness personification. You can't stop a Hino's Sport greatness personification. But y'all 98% of the planet motherfuckers out here, your greatness mimication. You're trying to mimic greatness, but you can't mimic greatness. You either are or you aren't. So when Floyd says that there is double standards that's associated with boxing, that Hino's Sport was trying to tell you, and a prediction king strikes first. And a prediction king strikes first. In seer mode fashion, that this shit has been around since the jump. But y'all Rudy Poor and Plum Plum brains, y'all classic dotes and troglodytes, y'all ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric didn't want to listen or pay attention, then it's not Hino's Sport's fault that you didn't get the message. Because maybe you're lacking neuron receptors. Maybe you're just a brain full of mush and a brainwashed dodo head. Anyone that does not respect and give full adulation to Floyd Money Mayweather's greatness personification, you are pure fucking beta supreme. If you had something adverse to say about Floyd Money Mayweather, you are a pure fucking beta supreme. And if you hate on Floyd Money Mayweather and you're hating on that greatness personification, then you're a pure fucking beta supreme. Conor McGregor has got put on his ass 3 times. Conor McGregor has sat here and been a joke on top of a joke on top of a joke. But because he is a great white hope, he doesn't get criticized for it. Could you imagine if Floyd got put on his ass 3 times? We saw this with Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson got put on his ass, and what happened? I clowned him. And that was just 1 time. Could you imagine if it was 3 times? Could you imagine if it was Floyd Mayweather, who they already hate, because of the Mayweather Da Vinci Code that y'all can't fucking crack? Imagine if he ever got put on his ass. Y'all wouldn't let him unlive that. But Conor McGregor gets to breathe. Keep that same energy, dog. Let me say it again. Keep that same energy. When it's all said and done, Floyd has a bunch of pure beta supreme haters. Because they're insecure and miserable as you know what in their lives. They're hot and bothered like grits. And they don't understand true alpha economics. There's an economics to being a true alpha. And if you're not a true alpha, then you would never get the language. Because we are 1,000 miles apart, dog. 3-dimensional thinkers. So I get it. I get what Floyd is dealing with. Y'all see he knows the sport how to deal with this shit every day on YouTube. When you speak the realness and you are being who you are, and you are being greatness personification can only be hindered, it can't be stopped, motherfuckers gonna always hate on you. When you embody real, recognizes real, motherfuckers always gonna hate on you. And when you are authentic and consistent as you know what, motherfuckers always gonna hate on you. You know why? Because real ones have to carry their own cross. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat true teller fashion. I keep the foot on the what? On the next. I keep the foot on the what? On the next. This is He Knows the Sport. Check it out.